That's tough.
This is going to be a very brief, fast overview with this stuff because this can get into a very complicated topic. It's going to be broken up into multiple different days of training covering different stages of it. If you have questions, your subject matter experts are going to be the people standing over here. All right? People who have actually received training on this, done it once or twice depending on their level or if they've deployed, etc., etc., etc. So if you have questions, do not be afraid to ask them. That being said, some aspects of this will not line up 100% with reality because this is a game and we can't necessarily replicate all of the motions or the little details and things that would happen with CQB that you can do in the real world. So, grain of salt with some of this stuff. You might need to ask them to dumb things down at times to put it into game terms rather than putting it into how it would happen in the real world. All right? So, step number 1. You guys can bring it on. You guys can all bring it back on in now. Step number 1. What is the easiest way to clear a room we either do not know the status of or we know is full of enemy combatants when we are not cared about infrastructure and we are not worried about civilians being inside said room?
Explosives.
There you go. So, step number 1, if we're sure it's if we're very sure it's hostile, we're very sure they're going to be pissed and they're going to be angry at us, we're very sure that we're going to have some, fucking issues trying to deal with that.
You might want to move Endo.
Endo, come stand right here for me.
Or Endo, go where he's at. There you go.
He's gonna miss.
What I want you to do, Endo, is stand here to block the door as it opens, and then I want you to open the door a bit.
Copy.
So you want to stand right about here, and then just press F to open the door. Do you see how Endo has now successfully blocked the door from opening all the way? This is a really cheap way for us to try and get grenades in the room, but you can step back, Endo. What you can do is you can open the door part way like that. And then close your door.
God damn!
Yes, ignore the magic building. But being laughing about the magic building aside, does everyone see how that works, like function-wise in the game? If you want to clear these rooms with a grenade and you have the space to do it, and you want to make sure the AI can't come out or start shooting you after you throw it in, one person to pop the door, other person throws the grenade in, you shut the door.
I have two questions. One is mechanical, like can you throw grenades at different speeds, or is it just full speed?
It is just full speed.
The second is, do all doors only open one way, or does some open?
No, there are doors that will open different directions depending on where they are in the house and everything else. Use your common sense on how a door should. Yeah, use your common sense on how a door should probably work.
So have they implemented pin on doors and walls?
So one door will not open 2 ways, though.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they do only open 1 way. You cannot open it forward and back. You can only pull it.
Okay, sorry, Fire. I thought you were asking if... My bad. Thank you, Coyote.
No, I ran this range last night, and there's a lot of doors that you're gonna fucking hate. So, the second, asking about door and wall pen, yes, that is implemented in the game. That's part of the base ballistic system, which means that, as we've had happen to us before, if the enemy realizes you're on the opposite side of the door, and they really don't want to open that door and find out what's going on, they might just decide to mag dump through the door. So don't fiddle fuck around here making a bunch of noise, fighting people, doing all sorts of stuff, and then just keep standing here. If you're coming up on the door, if you are not actively doing something with the door, i.e. the grenade idea or something like that, stay out of the fucking fatal funnel on the door, please. Don't get yourself shot. Walls can be shot through as well, but they require a lot more oomph, and most of the weapons we're going up against right now are not going to have that oomph. That does not work both ways. If you guys really don't like somebody in a building and it looks like it's made out of wood, the 338 spray down the whole ass building option is a option as well for clearing these buildings out with CQC.
Is that going to be...
Remember that your machine gunners can just go cyclic and waste a belt clearing a building.
Is that going to be outlined in ROE at the beginning of an op?
That is going to be outlined in the common sense factor. If you think if there is a potential for civilians to be inside a building, you probably shouldn't spray the building down and fill it with high explosives.
Makes sense.
All right. So, going into the actual, hey, we have to clear this room now. I'm not bringing them out for you right now because I don't feel like dealing with the 80 million times y'all flash yourselves. But the next step for room clearing, if we need to make entry into a room, is you can use a flashbang. They do have an effect on the AI. They will also have an effect on you guys. The effect on AI is it will basically disable their ability to use their weapons, and it will probably make them crouch or go prone. For you guys, it's going to cause an auditory effect. It's going to significantly chrome blur your screen, and it will lower your mouse sensitivity. So it will have an actual physical impediment on your ability to aim and everything like that. So please try not to flash yourself when you're clearing rooms, okay? So, next step, the door itself. When we come up on a door, what's the first thing we're gonna do? Who knows?
Check if it's
Figure
open.
out. Yeah.
There you go. Check if it's open, check if it's locked. Doors will not lock right now. Doors will probably lock by our next stop.
To Typhon Charlie Group.
So keep that in mind. First thing you're going to do is you check the door. To do that, you're simply going to try and open the door. All right? It will, if it is locked, it will then tell you the door is locked. We'll go over all that during the next session for what to do. Next step, like Waller was saying, you assess your door. Eyeball it. Try and see if you can identify where the hinges are, if they're visible, or which direction you think the door is going to open so that you can open the door. Your next step, shockingly, is you open the door.
Look.
Now, what's the next step you should do after the door is open?
I want to
you
take
can see
any targets visible from the door, from like the space you have open.
Yep.
Real quick, Doolittle. Everybody notice which side of the door he opened the door from?
Yeah, he opened
Not
it from
the
right
outside,
side.
but the handle side. The
The
opener is
house
on
has
handle
moved
side.
so much for me, I can't really see what's going on anymore.
It's hella desync.
Building position is
Oh, it's
desynced a
DCP.
bit.
Okay,
That's
we'll move over to this building then. So, same principle.
You know you want to fire.
That was great. That was great self-control fire.
Potter, Doolittle, this door, this building has 2 doors.
Yeah, this building has 2 doors on both sides. Doolittle.
Okay.
You want to
We'll
use
just
the door
use the-
behind us?
Yeah, we'll just use the door behind you guys then. That is annoying.
I thought it
I don't
was
know why it's
fucking
doing that.
hilarious.
Okay. Well, that's placed, so we have our lesson anyways. Okay, so. Door, handle side. We open, right? Cheap way in ARMA, or an easier way in ARMA to tell if which way a door is going to open, is when you look at the door and the frame and everything, look at this outside portion here, alright? If the door seems to be basically jutting out the wall towards you, it is probably going to open out towards you. If the door is, don't walk in that room.
I was gonna fucking close the door because that fucking house is glitched for me, the other one.
That's
yeah.
why.
Laser, you're bleeding a lot. Philly, you're bleeding a lot.
Can everybody
Alright,
stand
let's
back
stay
here,
back
please?
with the class, please, so I
Please.
can
Ghost,
get
that's my
through the
rifle.
lesson
Ghost,
and
everybody
stop
step
running
back.
around.
Point green, grab your rifle.
Pick up your rifles.
The door
Step
was
back.
closed for me, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Step
we
back,
traded guns.
please. Step away
Yeah,
from
drop.
the front of
Step
the class.
away from
Thank
the
you.
houses.
Thank you.
Does anyone else need a heal right now?
I do.
Yeah, I could get one.
Pretty much everybody.
If you
That
can
does,
check on
however,
me,
introduce
Doolittle,
us
I was
very
near the
nicely
explosion,
into
but I
the
don't
next
think I'm hurt.
element, which is, before you walk through a fucking door, look around the frame to make sure you're not about to step on a bunch of high explosives.
I knew this was gonna have
That was the
great
best lesson that
There's
could
a
have been.
claymore on the ground beside us. Okay, thank you for making that disappear, Doolittle.
So, the next step, like Blazer was saying, like Kaidi was saying, you want to inspect for enemies. You also want to inspect your door frame for threats. So if we open this door like this, and then we look, you're going to clear first the hallway to make sure there's nobody here that's going to shoot us trying to come through, right? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to inspect the full frame of the door. Oh, look, there's a claymore tucked in on the inside of this door. I probably shouldn't step through that. So you basically want to clear the initial open space that you can clear. You then want to inspect your door to make sure it's safe to enter. You then will enter the structure. Any questions about actions at the door so far?
When you find the claymore, what's the process? Is there a prompt, or you just back up and shoot
Back
it?
the fuck off it. Don't try and shoot it right now. Don't try and fuck around with the high explosives at the doorway in these kinds of stages or anything like that. If you have a booby-trapped door, you let everybody know, hey, that door is trapped. We probably shouldn't go through this way. You back off, you find another entry point. Do not try and proceed through, around, over. Don't try and dick around with the high explosive death trap that's blocking the doorway. Make it EOD's problem.
In our case, Zeus's problem for now.
Yeah, pretty much. But don't try and fuck with it. Don't try and get around it. Don't try and cut it or disarm it. Identify that there's a threat. Back off from the threat and find a different entry into the building. Any questions, any other questions on actions at the door?
Can we continue to use Ghost as any IED detector?
That is entirely a team leader. That is entirely team and squad level discretion. Any actual questions about actions?
I have suggestions about if we can get I don't know how easily moddable it is, but spray cans are usually used. So if you go up and then like something is rigged, you'll spray can
If
like
I can
the
get
side of the door.
decals working properly, I would love to implement that because we used to have that in the old A3 with Ace and it was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the only other. That is basically actions at the door. Any further questions from people so far? None at all. Going once, going twice. Okay. So, making entry. I'm gonna drive this one home because if you fuckers get me killed or get somebody else in your team killed because you're fucking around in the goddamn doorway, I'm gonna beat you with a stick. We do not just hang out in this doorway and fucking like, you know, take a shower, striptease, whatever the fuck you're into. Get through the door, get out of the way of the door. Stay out. You want to minimize your time in the fatal funnel. You want to stay out of the fatal funnel. Do not just stop here and hang out. Even if you have a contact suddenly appear in front of you, fire on the move, get through the door. You can use walking pace. In fact, I would recommend a lot of the time if we are not trying to like race the clock to rescue some hostages or some shit, keep your pace slow and methodical. It will be safer for you guys. But do not stop your movement in the door. Alright, use the scroll wheel speed, come through at a decent enough clip that you can get through, push down. Now, the actual art of clearing rooms themselves, we'll do this the easy way. Give me Coyote, give me Fire, give me Wangren.
Alright.
You
Fire, I
three
think you
go
in the front
inside. You three go inside, stack up on the room on the right-hand side. Everybody else up on the railing so you can look over. Be careful as you get near the door while you're going over there. It may try and yeet you off the railing.
Yeah, just watch the doorway. Do not stand on top of the door. I'd recommend that.
Move past the door. Get everybody up there. Cram as many people up there as you guys
Anybody
can.
that hasn't done this before,
Especially people that
please be
haven't
up
done
there.
this need to be up there.
Ah, okay then.
Good. Yep.
But I want people to be able to see. There are also windows around the back side that you guys can use to look through as well.
How much space we got?
A little bit.
Yeah, we should be able to
Fire,
fit
let me
everybody
know
up
when
there.
you're on the
Yeah.
move. I'm holding
Are
security.
you going in there with them? Do a little.
Okay. So, note the setup we have here right now. Do you guys see how they are all facing? You have one person covering your threat, which is the door. You have somebody else holding out covering this other threat and covering the hallway, and you have one person covering back the way you came. Depending how big your stack is, the basic goal is whoever is on point on this door. If we add a fourth person into this stack, Kaidi, if you'll take a step back for me, please. If we add a fourth person in, I can cover the door here. The person in front of me, which is Wangren, is able to cover out the other way and get set to help with the breach. You adjust your security as needed, but the goal is is basically to keep the direction you came from secure, the direction you're going covered, and any other open additional space covered, alright? Inside buildings, it's a lot easier to do, because typically there'd be a roof over top of us, and there's only so many doors that are going to be accessible from your point. These same principles apply when we get into Mount, but it scales dramatically because lots of multi-story buildings become an issue. So, time to clear this room. So Fire's going to open the door. There you go.
we go.
So Fire's going to open the door. You want to clear as much as you can from the doorway safely, without trying to stop in the doorway. But you can slow, peel, and you can do the peek. So this is where your leans are going to come in handy, your slow speed's going to come in handy. Now, did you see how they cleared that room when they came into this part? Fire button hooks to the right, Wangerin hooks left and comes down the long way, and then after Coyotes checked this corner, we clear across to the opposite corner. What they are doing is making sure that if there was dead space inside this room, all of it gets covered and cleared. Dead space is basically anything that I cannot clear from the doorway. So if there's a big-ass couch in the center and I can't see behind the couch, that is dead space. Gonna have you guys back out, and then go ahead and do it one more time for them.
So, are we gonna do it where it differentiates between if it's an active threat or a non-active threat?
Right now, we're just treating everything as active threat.
Okay.
Doolittle Fire has injuries.
We'll fix him.
I can't feel anything. I'm so hooked on morphine.
Let me know when you start progressing the stack.
Alright. That is another big point. In the real world, you would normally be physically close enough that you would be able to feel the person moving, which makes it a lot easier to tell when it's time to go. Since this is a game and you can't physically feel the person behind you start to move, somebody needs to call when the movement starts so everyone in the stack knows it's time to go. Alright, breach.
Move.
And do you see how we've ended up with them there again? There's a lot of variations to this stuff. Requires a lot of flexibility because not every room is going to be, you know, a corner-fed, nice, open, empty space, super easy to operate in. So you need to be flexible. This is just generalized guidelines on how best to clear these rooms, okay? What I want everyone to do right now, break off squad leaders, break your squads off, grab a building, break off into teams of however many you guys have with your numbers right now, and have your guys just run through a couple of practice runs on the buildings. All of the buildings do have targets in them. Feel free to engage those targets as you're clearing.
Yeah, me and Doolittle will be walking around observing. If you have questions, please ask.
Ask me, ask your subject matter experts, do it however you want to do it.
We're gonna grab these ones.
Hey, Canther.
The fuck are you?
We probably need to group up with Charlie to do this. It'll be a little bit big.
Yeah.
But what we can do is actually
Bravo's
practice holding
down over
security
two-man
with
right
that.
now.
Yeah, Bravo's one.
You're down there.
Or actually, you can join us and Bravo. How many? Did you say Bravo's got 2?
Ghost.
Me.
Your boys are down there.
Yep.
Well, shit. Yeah, no, we need to group up, but then we're gonna be clearing 4-man.
Actually, I
Give me
can
a second, I'm
pull
asking. Got to go.
Bravo, me and
Cantor?
Brex in with Bravo. That'll make it 4-man.
Actually,
you at 3 or 4?
I'm at 2. So give me Brex. You take. You go with. You go with Bravo.
Cantor?
Yes.
Will we ever get the touching shoulder from ARMA 3 again?
Yeah.
We'll
That
see.
came from Ace,
Possibly.
so I don't know.
Maybe
see
in the
what
future
mods.
we will
It
see.
depends
It's
what
going to
Ace
depend
does.
on what can be modded in. Alright, Campier, have your guys do your run
So
throughs.
can you wanna give me Brex? You go with Mini.
So you're going around.
Yeah, I can.
Alright.
Let's see.
Of course. Then you go around.
Hey,
And then
You
Brex,
should
I'm
have
sorry, but
Endo
as
and
our
Droid,
Tim, so
right?
you're staying in the back always. I never want you breaching.
So who wanna go
Obviously,
first?
I'm a
Raz
medic.
or Philly?
Quit. You've got Endo and Droid, right?
No, not. Oh wait, actually, where?
I will.
Droid, are you on yet?
When you guys
Yeah,
I haven't droid yet?
He's the Vietnam soldier.
Ah, iDroid. Okay. Yeah, I've got 3 now, so I don't need Brex.
Yeah.
So.
I can just observe them.
All right. Well, no, you should. You need to do it, Brex.
Yeah, you need to do it too, Brex.
I had to do it too.
Yep.
We'll do it the easy way. Split into your fire teams. Brex
Yeah,
camp
it's-
here, just in bed with Minnie.
Yeah, we were counting out how big the fire teams were, because initially,
Yeah, the numbers are weird. So just in bed, Brex in camp here, just in bed with Minnie. You guys go ahead and start doing your practice. Coyote, grab your guys and start doing yours.
Yeah, you want us on this building, or you want us
Yeah,
on
you
another
guys.
building?
Yeah, you guys can
All
use this building.
All right.
Okay.
You with us, Cantor?
Yep.
I'll lead this one, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna cycle through leads. All right.
Are we grabbing our own, or are we following after Charlie?
Droid, Indo.
That one's all fucked.
There's that one at the far back.
So yeah, we'll just use the same.
There's one more far back.
That building's all fucked because it bugged out.
There's another
We'll
building
use
back
the
there.
same building, but we'll just use the other half of it.
Okay.
Hold on, Droid, get back. So
Hey,
stay in the
Cantor,
stack.
I
We're
got
gonna
another
clear this
building
one
for you.
anyways, even though I can't close this
Yeah.
door. So you remember the lanes we took?
Gotta shoot out all the dead
You don't get
first.
doors, but
All right.
Okay. So we'll push
So-
in like this. We'll pretend there's doors.
Just general. I guess it really only applies to Wangren, but Wangren, I wouldn't ever have you on point, just simply because again your hat. So, I mean, well, I might if it's 2 people, but so yeah, normally you'd be in back. So I'll have you probably in back as well. Cantor, I'll have you on point for now, and then I'll. Do I have British for this?
yeah,
Okay.
you have British
we have
camp here,
British.
yourself, and the Wanger.
So yeah, Cantor on point. Then, well, you're medic, so yeah, you'll be live.
I'm at the right.
Okay.
Okay.
I know my position in the stack, Minnie.
All right.
All right, ready?
Set.
Okay. Go push in. Door open. Bang bang. Nothing to really shoot at here. All right, we'll stack up on the right door first.
Copy. Set.
All right. Reaching. Door open.
By the way, whoever's on the back of the stack, I found if you line up well, if you hold S.
Set.
The minute you would end up in this corner over here.
Okay.
I went right, so.
I really should have gone left into
Above
the other.
left wall. Minute you would split the difference.
Yeah. Where is British? Oh, he's
Not-
still holding. Okay.
There he is.
So, question.
You know, I'm the last man. God, what the fuck? Whose mic's going crazy?
Oh, probably
Yeah,
mine.
Someone went chipmunk.
Question. So when we went in, when we crossed in and you 2 initially went in this way, immediately there was that guy right there. So I had saw him and shot. Should I have taken British into the left room?
That is how you would divide the rooms in an actual breach. We were just running one room.
Right. We're doing simple
Gotcha.
stuff first.
As if it wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're acting as if the room doesn't exist. So you
Okay.
guys would enter the room, I'd stay in the hallway covering the entryway.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's do that again then. Because I acted as if this was an actual threat room, which divided my attention entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
If you breach and you see there are 2 potential threats, you would then split your stack.
Mhm. Yeah, okay, so we'll do it again. Just on the wall here.
Just on the wall here.
Yeah. Same position, so I'll be 3rd. Can't do his point.
All right.
Just because I want to do it.
So what I do is I will run up. I'll run up the wall as you guys are moving in, just so I'm at the doorway and I've got a better sight line with a bit more cover. If they have to enter, they've got to go through that tunnel, and I'll right next to it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Know about it.
All right. Set.
You ready? All right. Oof. Door open.
Wait, how am I? I'm just crossing centerwise, diagonally.
Yeah. I go far right. Second person goes far left.
Yeah.
Third person,
Many, there's
if
different
you're the
variety-
you're the last one
different
entering the
ways
room,
to
splits the difference.
This is a faster way to clear the dead space in the room, which is why we're using this one. It's easier
Yeah.
to teach rather than trying to teach people the multi lengths around the room.
which
Gotcha.
we used to do. So.
The infinite length breach is first person goes wide one direction, second person goes wide the other direction, third person goes a little bit less wide than the first person in the same direction, and you alternate left, right, slowly getting closer to center.
So far.
If you're the last person, you would split the middle.
Okay.
He's gonna be around if you vouch for him.
Yeah, I know. We never used to go down the middle diagonal.
You just gotta show up.
You were generally in the lead, so it didn't much matter. But for
True. I would have been on point. Okay. Nope, I get it. Alright, makes sense, Wingard? Alright.
Should be pretty straightforward for most of us.
Yeah.
Those because of ARMA tree.
If we want to do
Mm.
shooting through the
Is this room any different? Not really.
and they still haven't gotten the 338.
If you guys do have an MG mini, and I did mention this kind of in Bird's thing, if Luigi was here in this case, he might not always be the best option to be the point man, because especially if he's rocking the 338, that thing is unwieldy in CQC, so you may want to consider him as your third or fourth in the stack.
Yeah.
So that's kind of you as a fire team leader's kind of perspective. Sometimes the way it rolls, he might end up being the point man, so he needs to know how to do it. But ideally, we wouldn't want him being on the point with the 338, because that thing is unwieldy.
Yeah, him and Wangren I wouldn't have on point typically.
Right.
And Wangren as hat is a
He
decent
can't.
person to put on
Yes.
point.
Yes. But your MG, luckily with like the 250, so like for the other team with Endo, that thing's a little bit easier to manipulate in CQC. Just the 338, that's just something you have to kind of take into account.
Yeah.
And honestly, both machine guns are open bolt, so you don't really want them on point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think.
So.
It didn't look
Right.
like he stopped.
It's just a matter of what I have, and I mean, I want to keep the hat, functionality as long as I can, so I wouldn't typically put him on point. I would put a normal rifleman if possible, but again, it's mostly just dependent on what I have to work with.
Everybody in the stack needs to be flexible, because how fast this goes if we're doing multiple rooms and mount, it's gonna matter how you get in and get out of rooms and how you stack, or if you're breaking off into pairs. So
Yeah.
that's kind of when we get to a little more complex.
If I had Luigi on that 338, I'd probably have him almost all the way in the back, so that way, if we did take fire going into a room, he could just spray the wall.
Correct, and in mount we'll talk about that too, because you can kind of get some things with the MGs. So
yeah.
Okay.
For now, we're just doing basic bitch stuff.
Correct. But I want minis to start thinking about. Go ahead, Canfield.
Minnie and Wingard, you guys want to be the lead two on this next breach?
Yep. That sounds good. I guess I'll take point.
Okay. And then we'll next one we'll swap you two around.
Okay.
Normie can't hear, and I apologize if this is what you're doing. I am testing something really quick.
Okay, Devil Man, what's up?
You get you get demon voice.
Oh, I do?
No.
Hey, it does slow your mouse down.
Did that stun all of you with it in the room there, Canther?
I'm stunned to fuck.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna do one more.
I wasn't even looking that way, so.
That's why I'm trying to test.
There we go.
Stunner.
Ready?
Are you guys stunned again?
Stunned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm stunned to fuck. I'm looking away from it. I'm still stunned to fuck.
I'm not sure if it's because that doesn't have a door on it or not.
Seems to come back quicker that.
It might be because this isn't a real building according to ARMA.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'd have to test
Waller,
that
I'm gonna
out.
borrow you real quick.
All right. Minnie,
Yep. On you.
I'm ready.
Okay. Go on.
Okay.
That diagonal. I'm not sure I like that diagonal. Wrong button. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I did the thing. Not sure I like that diagonal all that much. Because if that guy was still up, it prevents me from shooting, and then whoever's closest to him would have to deal with him. And he might not know he's coming back.
I mean, there's a reason people are coming up behind you.
sure if we can see it from the exterior.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with it.
Railed out as you enter that room.
I don't think it'll be a huge issue.
People coming in behind you.
Well,
Hey,
it is.
why are you so quiet, British?
You clear one angle, and people are able to push in past you to clear the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we put in firing right on front.
All right.
Did you lower your mic volume, British?
No, my fucking headset was fucking around with its channel.
Ah.
So it might have fucked up my mic audio. So I do apologize.
Gotcha. That's fine.
I could rig it through my voice meter banana to up my voice volume, but that would
I'm so
require me
tempted to
to
throw a
take my
grenade.
mic.
No, it's fine. I just want to make sure you were aware.
Yeah, no. My fucking headset. Today.
Ready.
Set. On you. Go.
So something, Charlie, you guys may have noticed there was as soon as Wangren cleared his target, he stopped looking down his line. As soon as he knew his corner was safe, he started looking towards another corner. You're not eyes locked on your 90-degree angle. If you do that, you will get shot.
Or if your buddy goes down or something and that target's still up that he couldn't hit, things like that.
Yeah, clear your angle,
Which will
look
end
at the
in
other
you getting
stuff.
shot.
Just pay attention to where friendlies are so you don't plink them as they're moving.
I take it ARMA REFORGER still has the ricochet off walls, so don't hug the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just do that by practice, because the other thing too is your walls are very good ways of funneling rounds in your face. So.
That is. Oh shit.
Oh, hello.
Good job, Coyote.
Okay, I didn't get hurt.
Doolittle.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay. You can come by and tell them about the stunts.
Yes. So the
Alright.
tested the stunners. You need to be back off the door a bit. Back off about 2 to 3 feet when you're putting the stunner in for the person throwing it. Everyone else back away from the door about 1.5 yards, and you shouldn't fucking catch any of the stun.
Correct.
Okay.
So it seems like the impulse is kind of spilling out the doorway a bit through the line of sight mechanics.
Okay.
Hey, Doolittle.
Yo.
Any chance on foldable stock for these rifles sometime soon?
Yesn't.
Overstock.
Not sure if it will be physically possible in the engine. Can test and see.
I noticed that we have them, and that would make maneuvering in these quarters infinitely better.
Yeah, like I said, I will see what I can do. I can't make promises because I don't know if the game will actually support that.
Okay.
Okay.
Also,
So-
I don't know what I heard about not hugging the walls.
Yes.
No. In most room clearing tactics, at least stateside, I don't know what they're taught overseas, even for U.S. deployment, but stateside, you walk the wall.
So the reason that the U.S. Coyote, for at least mill side, doesn't always hug the wall all the time is because IEDs are a bad experience.
Yeah.
And
That's not the reasoning that I just heard. So
Yeah,
I
no, the
need
reasoning-
consistent reasoning to argue this. Is it IED or is it bullet ricochet?
So there's some talk of it being bullet ricochet, but the primary reasons that I got taught were to stay off the walls for IEDs, because insurgents learned the tactics and started planting the IEDs right in on the wall. So you step just off the wall a bit so you don't step right on top of the bomb.
Yep, that's the clarification I wanted to get right there for the
Yeah.
rest of the room.
There's
is 'cause
some
I
there's
just taught
some
my-
discussion for ricochet, but
I just taught my boys to hug the wall, and if you're going to, so
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can hug the wall.
All right.
Just be aware that if we're going into environments where that happens, you guys might need to be flexible, and this is why I said it's a flexible topic.
So the part where you mentioned
Yeah,
it was
we're gonna do it in just a minute.
like slightly off the wall,
Yeah,
that
like
would be fine. You still need to be close to the wall though, because you don't want to be in the middle of the room. You'll block lines of fire. And that's
Yeah, no, it's like, do you see where I'm about standing, Coyote? This is where you would be to clear
yeah,
off the wall.
I'm using you as an example for Charlie right now.
I think originally they said we were to get off the wall because of the flashbangs come through.
Oh no, that's a game mechanic thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super fat.
We're good now, I think.
Bird.
You don't have to hug the wall.
You guys
if you don't
good?
wanna hug the
Good.
wall. I use wall to guide because that's the way I
Now
know.
that you have Ghost asked if we could do it one more time, so I'm gonna do it with Ghost.
IEDs go in walls.
Did you
Know that?
Did you guys
makes sense.
cover?
But you
So
can
I'm
either
only
step
able
off
to
the
carry
wall
6 reloads and one in my gun. Yeah,
Which one are you again?
All that and took care
I
of
still
it.
have 3.
338.
I still have 3.
Coyote, what gun do you want me to run?
Alright.
If you were comfortable
using this
In theory,
rifle,
you guys good?
then I'd say keep using this rifle.
I think so, yeah.
Gotcha.
Gotta do some kit changeovers because.
You want me to bring some ammo for you then, Phil?
You guys are
terms of this,
comfortable,
yeah.
comfortable with the clearing and comfortable approaching multiple doors and stuff.
I'm 47.
Should be able to.
47,
Okay,
I was
cool.
super heavy.
Alright,
I mean,
squad
I'm
leaders,
already
once you
able to
guys
fast.
are done,
I'm
have
also
your
for-
teams
47.
make sure they're rekitted and everything.
You know the walking is
I think
determined by
Wangren
your
just went to do that.
scroll wheel, right?
Once you guys
If
are
you
finished
scroll
with the
down,
rekit,
you walk slower, and then
we're
scroll
gonna get
up, you
time
walk
roll over
faster.
tonight. We're gonna get ready to start heading out. Squad leaders, get your guys geared out and then get them briefed.
Alright.
What am I to? My channel's 42,
I got 4 heat and then one of the
and
flank
then what's the other one? 43.
I forgot, Raz. You
yeah,
can
Negative. Yours is 43, wrong check.
Negative. Yours is 43. Mine's 42.
Ah, gotcha.
Disregard. I'm
47,
tripping.
Raz is at
Yeah, you're
50,
42. I'm
you're
43.
45,
Shit.
so you're
Okay.
the lightest one.
But that may so
That's
Canthier,
wild
how do you
that
want to
the
run this?
MG
Do you want
guys
us to
like-
split up or do you want us to run as a unit?
Yeah, only have
I mean,
You
I-
actually have the people to run split up.
Oh yeah, 'cause
I have 300 from you.
up to you.
If I merge into Bravo.
Alright, Phil and Raz, let's just go over.
So many. This is from Scottsdale. Mwah.
God damn it.
We'll stay split to fire teams.
Copy.
Okay.
Indo, do you need me to carry any ammo?
Yeah, probably, since we don't have an A gun.
Alright. How many boxes you want me to carry?
I'm running pretty heavy right now, so maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah. You want spotting and tracer.
Yep.
What's your current weight?
51.26.
Alright, what is it when you drop those 2 boxes that I just took? Or was that extra boxes you couldn't take?
If I drop 2, I'm down to 45, and it puts, so if with those 2 I dropped, I have 5 on me, and if you have 2, that puts us at 7, so it's not that bad if we're doing CQC stuff.
1 second, I want to check.